So I guess one of the benefits I've discovered about leaving these parishes, ever since I made the announcement that I'd be leaving, everyone's just been so nice to me. It's been great, like all these compliments and affirmations, and thank you. Like, it's really awesome receiving that. And it is very humbling. You guys have just been awesome for the last 5 years, and to hear the impact, like it's just very humbling. And one of the things that comes up the most is the homilies and how people have related to the homilies over these last 5 years. And I don't know, I kind of have to chuckle at that because when I was a seminarian and I was preparing to be a priest, the homily was not the thing that I was like most excited about. In fact, it was the thing that I was probably the most worried about becoming a priest. When I first got ordained, I would get really nervous giving my homilies. And so I would have to write them out, word for word on the page and just read them during the Mass. And so I got decently good at that. I would try to look up and go back to reading from the page, and it was just kind of, it was there, and it, I don't know, I didn't do a great job with it though. It was kind of mechanical, and it wasn't as engaging. And then God stepped in, and there was one week, I was at St. Christopher's, probably about a year into my priesthood, when I just didn't have time. There were all these things that came up that I couldn't sit at my computer and type out my homily. I just didn't have the time. And so I'm freaking out on Saturday afternoon because I'm getting ready for the evening Mass, and I'm in the confessional, hearing confessions, and I'm trying to take advantage of every second I've got. So I'm in there with pen and paper, just scribbling away as furiously as I can, trying to write out my homily so that I have it there in front of me during the Mass. And looking back, it's kind of humorous, I guess. I wonder what people thought that were coming to confession, because they'd sit behind the screen, and all they heard on the other side was this feverish scribbling, going on the other side. But I didn't get it done. I didn't get it written. And I knew what I wanted to say. I had it in my head, but I didn't have it in front of me. And I got up in front and gave that homily without any written piece to it, and went fine. And I realized how much God was a part of all of that. And ever since then, I have yet to write down another homily. I've always relied on the Holy Spirit and God to just see it through, and He does. He always does. But I mentioned, it wasn't the homily that was the thing that excited me about priesthood. That's true. The thing that really excited me, the thing that I looked forward to the most when I was in the seminary, was to be able to say the words that Jesus gave us in today's gospel. When He sat down at the Last Supper and He spoke these words, and it was the first Mass. He took things like bread and wine and He transformed them into the most amazing thing in the universe, His own body and blood. And He gave these words to His apostles to use, and they gave it to their disciples, and down through the generation to the priests of today. I remember my first Mass. It was such a mixture of emotions because on the one hand, when I said those words, there was this overwhelming sense of wonder and awe of what was taking place. And at the same time, recognizing what was happening, there was a deep, deep sense of unworthiness. And even after all these years, I still feel very unworthy to do what I do at the altar. And that connection to the Eucharist, it was there from the beginning. I remember being in high school, and I would come into the church to find out what God wanted me to do. And I would sit in the pews, and I would just spend hours staring up at the tabernacle, talking with God. And it all became clear. And so when people ask me why I became a priest, well, it wasn't so I could give homilies. I became a priest because I fell in love. I'm still very much in love. And so, on this weekend that we celebrate Corpus Cristi, I just want to affirm that I thank you for complimenting me on my homilies, but if there was one message over these past 5 years that I want you to take with you, one thing that I want to stick more than anything else, it's my deep desire that you also fall in love. Because no homily can do justice to what the Eucharist is for us. I mean, to fall in love with Christ, there is this giddiness, there's a deep sense of joy. And I don't know, for the past 5 years, I've tried very hard to convey that, right? I've tried using poetry and music and song. I've tried all these ways, and it comes close, but it's not enough. No homily is ever enough. Because this gift that God has given us, it's everything. It's everything. And so it's something you have to experience for yourself. When I first came here, my second homily at these parishes, I spoke about the Adoration Chapel, and I encouraged everybody to go. And I repeat that today. Please spend time in front of the Blessed Sacrament. And maybe the prayer is as simple as just sitting there in His presence and repeating over and over again as if He was our beloved, I love you. I love you. Because to feel the love of God, I mean, it's ineffable. There are no words for it. It's indescribable. And it's the best feeling in the world. And so to honor that and to know that I will keep you in my prayers, you can truly experience the love of God. Truly experience what a gift the Eucharist is. I need to keep my streak alive. And so I think it's appropriate for this homily that we end with a love song. And I think it's a love song that many consider, myself included, to be the greatest love song. And I think it's a love song, but it's a prayer. I don't know if it was meant to be a prayer, but it is. So I'm actually going to leave the podium. I'm going to go down, I'm going to kneel down facing the tabernacle, and I'd like for you to help me sing this song. And maybe at first you'll be a little hesitant, that's fine, but at least for that last verse, please sing with me, Can't Help Falling in Love.
If I